everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Angela and Joey Try Vlogging. I'm Joey.
I'm Angela.
And we were sitting around thinking about, what content we wanted to bring to you, and I realized it's Halloween season.
We love Halloween.
September. So we started talking about the movies we were going to watch this season.
And so we decided that it would be a good idea to bring you our top 10 since we're watching all these movies, And
it was a fun discussion too.
Yeah. It really was. Yeah. And we realized that a lot of them on the list we haven't watched in a while, so we're definitely going to be rewatching a lot of them this season.
Yeah, there's some good ones. There's some good ones on there.
Super excited.
We haven't seen. We basically went if we haven't seen it over like a year, should we watch it this season? We'll be inside a lot, I'm sure, with everything that's going on. So, we wanted to let you guys see if you like them too. Let us know in the comments if you do.
If you haven't seen them, we recommend them.
Definitely recommend all of these. Between number 2 and number 1, we'll have a couple of honorable mentions in there. We could have made a top. I could have made a top 100.
Yeah.
100%. But
I don't know about 100, but
I could have. I'm a horror fanatic. But we will definitely give you our top 10, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you're enjoying the content we're bringing you. Don't forget to subscribe, tickle the like, rub the bell, and we'll bring you our top 10 and see if you like it. Without further ado, here's number 10.
Okay, so coming in at number 10 is the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. The first appearance of the iconic Freddy Krueger. The Robert Englund version, yes. The only version really. It's still a great movie. It's 1984, directed by Wes Craven. And this one he's still, eerie and evil.
Yeah.
The nails scraping across the pipe.
Oh, I hated that sound.
It wasn't until the later movies where he started doing a lot of one-liners, which I love too. He gives you the one-liners and all that, but in the first one he's still very just spooky and, evil.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, I like that one. I'm watching it with you for the first time.
Yeah. Oh, and it's Johnny Depp's first movie.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler alert, he doesn't last long.
Sad.
But it's a pretty cool kill scene. So yeah, coming in at number 10 was definitely the original Nightmare on Elm Street. We definitely recommend watching that one.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, coming in at number 9 would be Lights Out. This movie's from 2016. We like it because original storyline.
Yes.
Hadn't really seen that type of storyline before. It's still a supernatural movie, but it's a really cool storyline. Lots of jump scares.
Yes. This one got me
quite
a little bit.
Quite a few. You may remember back, 2016, it probably was in there, that there was like Facebook videos and all that stuff going around where they flipped the lights on, flipped it off, flipped it on. And it was that's the movie that it came from. And it works, man. It was a good movie. It was definitely a good movie. If you like jump scares and that type of deal, it's definitely one to watch.
Yeah, and it has a twist that you wouldn't really expect, but it's
good plot twist and
twist.
Definitely a storyline I had never seen. And I've seen a lot of horror movies. It was cool. I definitely liked it, and we definitely recommend that one.
Absolutely. Very good.
Yeah.
Very suspenseful. Okay, coming in at number 8, we have It, the remake. Both chapter 1 and 2. So, as I've stated previously in our videos, I don't like clowns. So, this one scared me, especially because I've never seen the original Tim Curry version. And it's pretty gruesome.
That's why, as much as I love the Tim Curry version, that was great as far as being, growing up with that. But it was made for TV, so watching it now, it's still cool because of the nostalgia of it for me, but it definitely, there's a lot cut out. It was a made for TV movie, so I think it's because, we were kids when we watched it. But the new one is more like the book, first of all, so I like that.
That's creepy.
They changed it up enough. The Pennywise that's in the new versions is a lot more like the one in the book. Tim Curry made his own character out of that, and much respect to him. That was an awesome character. But he wasn't the Pennywise in them. So I definitely enjoyed it, and you know, it's more edgy, it's R, so it's like got gore. It's definitely one to watch.
Good.
Very well made, and I'm not a huge fan of remakes most of the time. There are a couple on this list that are just ones that basically probably the 3 or 4 I agree with. The other ones are to me garbage, but you know, it is what it is. But this one was a high-end remake. I wouldn't even really call it a remake because it was more like the book. We'll watch the older one. Maybe we'll do a lazy movie reaction for the old one and see how she reacts to that one after seeing this one. But just a creepy film. I mean,
and the comedy thrown in is pretty hilarious.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of funny. The kid from Stranger Things. That was good.
Definitely adds to it.
So definitely, I would watch that this season for sure. Especially if you haven't seen
both
it.
of them.
And if you have seen it, I
both
mean,
so good.
Still a great movie to watch. The first chapter is scary. You know, it's got a lot of jump scares and all that in it. And the second part was just very well written, and I thought a really good ending to the movie. I wouldn't say it was super scary, but it was definitely a good to the book kind of ending to it. So highly recommend this one as well. And that's number 8. Coming in at number 7, we've got The Invisible Man.
Such a good movie.
And honestly,
so well written.
Angela made me watch this one. I was kind of like, whatever. You know, I thought it was gonna be Hollow Man all over again, which is a good movie too. Honorable mention. But I thought it was just gonna be that all over again. So it's kind of like, whatever. You know. And then one night it was her turn to pick the movie, and we watched it. And you know what? It was really good. I mean, and suspenseful.
It was the first time I had seen it too.
Super suspenseful. We both watched it for the first time together, and from the beginning, you're just edge of your seat kind of going because she's like sneaking out of the house. It was surprisingly really good.
Such a good movie.
So if you haven't seen it, 100% recommend it. Yeah. Plot twist. I mean, there was just the overall movie. The entire movie is like suspenseful because you never know where he's at.
And the ending is phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, I highly recommend it. They would have been higher on the list. Only there's just other ones on here that.
So good.
But I mean, for being 2020, I mean, if you haven't seen a good suspenseful horror movie lately, I highly recommend this one. Watch Invisible Man. And like I said, I wasn't even planning on seeing it. And thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
So yeah, that's number 7. Highly recommend it.
So good. Coming in at number 6, we have another remake with Evil Dead. Another one that I haven't seen the original for, but I can tell you that the remake, so good. It is such a great film.
It's overall just intense. I mean, the remake, like I said, I don't like a lot of remakes, but this was probably the first remake that I really liked. It's from 2013. They just made it almost like a different movie. Just the darkness that they put in there, the intense. The whole movie is like the cinematography, and it's great. Love this one. Definitely love Evil Dead. It's gory. And there's a lot of cool kill scenes in there, and it just torments them the entire time. And the demon in the basement is to me, she did a great job. Great job.
And like what you think is gonna be the ending isn't actually the ending.
Yeah.
So that's another great twist.
It's a great story.
Very
creepy in the woods, you know, cabin in the woods type story. So obviously wonderful for Halloween season. So highly recommend Evil Dead, especially if you haven't seen it, the remake. Her not seeing the original, it's actually going to be on our movie reactions, our lazy movie reactions coming up. She's going to watch it. We're going to watch 1 and 2 and see how she reacts to those. So that'll be coming soon. But definitely recommend the remake. It was I don't even like calling it a remake because it was just kind of the same storyline as more than a remake. So highly recommend Evil Dead.
Very good.
Coming in at number 5 is The Conjuring. And now, if you haven't seen this, come on.
Watch it.
If you want it, come on. You gotta watch it. It's, Ed and Lorraine Warren, loosely based on their true story, Amityville horror type stories to it. It's about a house. Obviously, the introduction of Annabelle, which, everybody's afraid of, the Annabelle doll, led to a series of movies. New one coming out soon, which I can't wait for. But I mean, Conjuring is a no-brainer if you like horror, watch it the right way.
Movie.
That movie's still creepy. And I've seen it a few times, and it still creeps me out. It's a great movie. yeah, Conjuring is just, it's a creepy movie, and it freaked you out.
It did. It freaked me out, especially Annabelle, just because,
The whole dolls.
as you may know, I don't like them. I don't like dolls. So
I will say I wasn't a fan of the Annabelle movie. It
I
wasn't all
haven't
that
watched
scary
it. I
to
won't
me.
watch it.
It was kind of super predictable. I haven't seen The Nun yet. I did see Conjuring. I do like Conjuring 2 as well.
I thought we watched The Nun.
We haven't watched The Nun yet.
No?
No. Maybe we'll throw that on the lazy movie reaction as well. But we haven't watched that. But we did watch Conjuring 2. And I liked that one too. You know, it was good. But Conjuring 1 just has that. Oh, it's a creepy movie. So if you haven't seen it in a while, or you've never seen it, get on it. I mean, if you haven't seen it, but if you haven't seen it in a while, it's definitely worth a watch, especially during Halloween season. Yeah, can't say enough about it. I always like that one. It's fun. Mm-hmm. And it's loosely based on true story, so you know, it's always a little creepy.
Ooh. Coming in at number 4, we have The Collector.
Oh yeah.
This is kind of a hidden gem, because
Yeah.
not a lot of people know about this movie, and if you do, you know what's up.
I love the series.
Oh my goodness. It is like bone chilling because it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things. I mean, if somebody was clever enough, it could happen.
He could be real. But yeah, no.
The gore in it is
so gory.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even expect half of the things that happen to happen, and you would never even think of them because
shock
they're
value.
just
shock value of the movie is awesome. Especially
They're
if
just
you've never
so
seen
off
it,
the
the
wall.
shock value on it is awesome. The gore, I mean, they're definitely detailed in it. Basically, it's a serial killer who breaks into your house while you're gone and booby traps your house so that you can't get out when he comes for you, and then he takes people.
It is
So,
insane.
if you do watch this one and you like it, there is part 2, The Collection, which I think is just as good. And they're coming out with a part 3 here soon. So
Hopefully.
we're hoping that one. Original movie, it was made in 2009. But yeah, if you haven't seen The Collector, which, you know, it is a hidden gem. I'm sure a lot of you haven't out there. Watch it. It's hard to find. You might have to rent it. Like, you might have to actually pay for it, but it's worth it. It's a great movie.
It is
especially
worth the
if you haven't
money.
seen it.
It will keep
part
you
2.
on the edge of your seat.
Part 2 is a continuation right from part 1, so it's literally just continues on. So absolutely watch it. That's our number 4. Yeah, I mean, I could have even, if it wasn't on this specific list for Halloween, might have been number 1. I love that movie, especially being like an unknown kind of. He's starting to get a little popular, but yeah, when it came out, it was.
And it's like a legitimate serial killer.
Yeah.
And you know, those are real.
So it adds to the suspense, you know, strangers, stuff like that. You know, when it can really happen, it's a little spookier. So, yeah, if you haven't seen this one or you haven't seen it in a while, watch it this season. I mean, we're definitely watching this one. It's been a while since we've seen it. So
if you watch it, let us know what you think, because
yeah, I want to know
love
what you think
it
for sure. So, and with that, we are at the top 3. So coming in at number 3, we got Rob Zombie, House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
This movie is awesome anytime you watch it. It's Rob Zombie's first directorial debut, and it was freaking awesome. I mean, I loved it. The nostalgia was kind of like a throwback horror movie, but like now. The cinematography on it's awesome. The comedy, the characters that spawn from it. You know, it's hard to make an icon. Your Freddy's, your Jasons, Michael Myers, you know, all that. You got Captain Spaulding, Otis, Tiny, Baby. Like, they all have, you know, have their own.
The whole
Firefly family.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they spawned other movies, Devil's Rejects, 3 from Hell. They're cool. I like them. But House of a Thousand Corpses, a whole different feel. I just love. It's a horror movie. I love it. And, you know, it's not even the fact of like, oh, it's so scary. It's just freaking awesome.
It's gruesome.
And I have to watch it. I mean, I watch it a lot when we're just looking for a scary thing to watch. How many times have we pop this movie on a lot?
All the
Because
time.
you can stream it half the time. So a must watch for Halloween season. And if for some reason you haven't seen it, 100% go watch it. You should watch it now. I mean, if you're watching this, you should watch it if you can. It's a great movie, well written. It's got a little bit of everything in it for everybody, and it's gory. I mean, it's just fun. It's a fun movie.
It is. Dr. Satan. Where's the fried chicken?
Yeah, I mean, there's so It is. Well, I mean, Sid Haig. It's got. I mean, that movie is just a masterpiece. I mean, it will always be a masterpiece. So coming in at number 3, I mean, you have to see Rob Zombie, House of a Thousand Corpses.
Absolutely. Coming in at number 2, we have Halloween. The original from 1978, Rob Zombie's from 2007, and the sequel to the original from 2018.
Yeah, the original was directed by John Carpenter in 1978. The remake was Rob Zombie in 2007, and then John Carpenter actually got in again as, I believe, producer on the newest one, which is 2018, which is actually a really good Halloween remake. I liked it. It's a sequel to the original first one.
So the original is just iconic. I mean, everybody knows who Michael Myers is. Everybody knows who the movie Halloween.
Brilliant.
The score is unforgettable and still sends chills down people's spines. I'm convinced.
I mean, it really does.
But it is just a phenomenal movie. It makes you jump. The whole plot line is just so intense.
It's got that Halloween feel. I mean, it's Halloween.
It does. It's Halloween.
During Halloween season, you have to watch Halloween. Oh, yeah, and that's not on TNT or AMC or any of that. Like, watch the uncut, good versions where nothing's left out. You'd be surprised how different they are when you actually watch the uncut ones. So I just want to throw that in there. I mean, they show all these on, TBS, TNT, AMC, all that. I mean, and they're okay, but when you watch them uncut, like the originals, they're still very good.
Very good. So then that leads into the 2007 version by Rob Zombie. And that is more of a backstory into how Michael became Michael.
Yeah.
So it's its own story
in
a sense, but he did a very good job as going back in and really showing how he became who he is or was.
It wasn't like a direct remake or anything. You can definitely watch them as 2 separate movies for sure. Like you said, Rob Zombie goes a lot more in depth into Michael, on how he was. And it's still brutal. It's Rob Zombie gory, So I mean, that's a really good one to watch. It's got a creepy feel to it too.
Absolutely. And then the 2018 sequel to the original was such a
loved it.
Great film. Yeah. It had all of the jump scares that you would expect from Michael. Yeah. The score was amazing, and it paid a lot of homage to the original film, which I thought was really cool.
In it, which was really cool. It was really cool. I did like that. And it's John Carpenter. I mean, he has there's something about a John Carpenter movie, like there's a different feel to it. If you like him, you like him. If you don't, you don't. It's one of those, he's one of those directors, but I really enjoy him, and his scores, the way he does music, I mean, it creeps
music
you out.
makes it.
A lot of horror to me, it's music. Music makes horror.
Phenomenal.
We were both completely satisfied with the new one, especially after the long wait and the anticipation.
I screamed a little bit in the theater.
Looking forward to the one coming out this year too, if it still is, I believe.
Hopefully.
I hope it is. So I mean, definitely looking forward to that too. Before we get into number 1, we got a few honorable mentions for you. Just ones that, for whatever, these are series, so I mean, they're all pretty good. So we didn't want to throw them on a top 10. Starting off with Scream. Now the Scream series, I like it. I think it's great. It's they're all fun movies to watch. They got jump scares. They got different cool story plot, to them. What's your favorite scary movie?
Yeah.
I liked it, and it was one of the first new horror icons with Ghostface that came out that I can remember. As far as you had Freddy, Michael, Jason, Leatherface, all that. But it was kind of a newer generation icon again, if you will, like a new character. So I mean, I thought that was really cool that they came out with that. Highly recommend that series. I thought they were all good. They're all fun to watch.
Absolutely, and I believe that they're coming out with a new Scream 5, I believe, next year.
6.
I don't know, but I think they're coming out with a new one.
But yeah, there's a new one coming out from what I hear. But yeah, that's definitely an honorable mention. I mean, the Scream series are always fun. Mm-hmm. What else? We got Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
that is an honorable mention. I've never seen the original. I've seen the remake, which is still a really great movie. I don't know about the original.
There's quite a few Texas Chainsaw Massacres out there too. They're all fun to watch if you like that. It's a cannibalistic family and he likes to cut people and wear their faces. So I mean, if you're into horror, I like them all. They're all cool. I mean, none of them are crazy. Secretly, my favorite one is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. I don't know. I like it. It's got Otis in it from House of a Thousand Corpses. He's got the itch in his head with the hanger all the time. So I mean, that one I like. It's one of my secret favorites, and it's probably to a lot of people the goofiest one of all of them. But I mean, besides maybe Next Generation. But have you seen Part 2?
I don't know.
I don't think we've watched. Maybe we'll do a lazy movie reaction for that one, just so she can see it. And I just thought it's fun. I mean, maybe it's just from my childhood. I don't know when I watched it, but that's my favorite one of that one. But there's quite a few Texas Chainsaw Massacres. I mean, I think there's like 7 of them or something like that. I mean, there's quite a few of them. So. Definitely an honorable mention there. Which brings us to Friday the 13th. I mean, it's Jason. Gotta love Jason. He's personally my favorite.
Yeah.
I just love the kills. I mean, Jason, if you want to see people get killed, I think he's got the most body count out of them all. So he's always fun to watch.
Gruesome.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't call it scary per se, but if you like slasher flicks, I mean, Jason's the man. It's kind of a summertime thing to me, because it's camp, so I didn't want to put it in the Halloween top 10. But I mean, there's even Freddy vs. Jason is always a good one. But yeah, there's just some I looked at it more as like a summer camp kind of thing. So we didn't want to put it on the Halloween one. And I mean, honestly, with these 10 scary movies, like I said, I don't put Jason as like super scary, but super cool. Mm-hmm. I mean, the kills, he comes up with very creative ways to kill people.
He does.
So that's always fun. So those are my honorable mentions, and that'll bring us in for number 1. That brings us to our number 1 Halloween season horror movie, Trick or Treat.
Yes! I love this movie so much. Sam is amazing. There are so many different plot lines, and there are so many different twists within these plot lines that you wouldn't expect at all. And it's just such a phenomenal movie. Trick or Treat Sam, he's like the villain, but not really, because he just likes to keep the spirit of Halloween alive. And if you don't like Halloween, he'll kill ya.
That he will. That he will.
It was so underrated for a long time, but I feel like he's really starting to come out and to
Yeah, he's starting to. I mean, now especially, I think this year the spirit stores actually have a bunch of Trick or Treat Sam. Funny because it was made in 2007. So I mean, honestly, I saw it in 2008, and I've watched it every year since on Halloween, either Devil's Night or Halloween Night. I watch it every year. I've been going now for 12 years. And I'll do it again this year. It's just it's the most fun Halloween movie to me that there is. I love Michael Myers, I love the Halloweens and all that, but Trick or Treat just has that, I used to watch A Christmas Story and stuff like that all the time on Christmas, and to me it's the Halloween movie. Trick or Treat is the Halloween movie. I watch it every time. It doesn't fail. And now it's funny for me to see him, over the past few years really get kind of this icon status and blow up, because it's cool, because I've always liked him. I thought he was awesome the first time I saw it, so that's really cool, and
it's such a great
must
movie.
see. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it for Halloween season. I mean, you have to. Don't do yourself. You're doing yourself an injustice by not seeing it, especially if you like Halloween movies. And if you haven't seen it, I'm actually pretty shocked. They've been promising us a part 2 for years now. I mean, one of these days.
I hope one day they do.
You Sam fans know what I'm talking about. One of these days, right? One of these days. It seems like that always comes up, and we're gonna do it, and then it just fades away. So, number 1 is absolutely Trick or Treat for the Halloween season.
Must
2020.
watch.
I mean, you have to watch it. And like I said, we're gonna have time during the quarantine season, obviously, to watch these movies. So we wanted to bring you, our top 10 for it, and hopefully you guys will enjoy them. Like I said, we understand that there's movies on here that aren't on here that could be, like The Shining, The Exorcist,
The Saw movies.
Yeah, Saw movies. There's a lot of them. And like we said, we could probably make a top 50 to a top 100. But for this Halloween season, we just looked at, what 10 movies would we recommend for people. Now, there's a couple other ones in there with the sequels and stuff, but we wanted to give you guys just 10 that we thought for this Halloween season would be good.
The
So,
ones that we like to watch.
maybe we drop a couple more.
Maybe like a comedy top 10 or I don't know. There's a lot of things that we could do.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe I could drop a top 10 like horror that people might not have heard of. There's a lot of like lower end horror that people don't necessarily see or doesn't make the mainstream. I mean, Hell Trick or Treat didn't make the mainstream
I
for a long
know.
time. So
Such a good movie.
there's a couple that
Watch
I know.
it.
Maybe we could do that. In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy it. Please subscribe if you like the content.
Please.
Tickle the like button. Rub that bell. And we'll try and bring you good content as much as we can. Till next time, I will see you later.
Thanks for stopping by, everyone.